Once upon a time in a village in Africa, there lived a very greedy chief. He hoarded all the wealth of his people and wouldn't share it with anyone. One day, a wise man came to the village. The chief invited him to his house and gave him a golden yam as a gift. The wise man thanked the chief and told him that he would carve a special design on the yam and return it to him the next day. The chief couldn't wait to flaunt the yam, so he paraded around the village square showing it to everyone. "Look at the beautiful golden yam I got from the wise man. I'm sure it's worth a fortune," he bragged. "I'm the only one worthy of such a treasure." All the villagers saw the yam, but no one said a word. They all knew how greedy their chief was and didn't want to encourage him. The next day, the wise man returned to the chief's house. He rang the bell, but the chief didn't come to open the door. Perhaps he's just busy counting his money, the wise man thought, so he knocked the door open and walked in. There, sitting in a corner of the room, was the yam, just as the chief had left it. The wise man picked it up, turned it over in his hands, and said, "I've been admiring this golden yam all morning, but I can't help but feel like it's incomplete." Just then, the chief appeared in the doorway. "What do you mean?" he asked suspiciously. "Well," said the wise man, "you see this beautiful golden yam, but you know what would make it even more spectacular if it were made entirely of gold." The chief's eyes lit up. He had never considered melting down the yam to make a solid gold one. It seemed obvious to him now. "Of course, you're right," he exclaimed. "Why did I not think of this before?" The chief rushed to get an axe and started chopping at the yam. But it was very hard, so he called for some helpers. Together they chopped and hacked until the yam was split into pieces. Then he brought the chunks of gold to a nearby river and threw them in. The wise man watched the whole thing with a smile. Once the river was filled with golden yams, he said, "Your Majesty, I believe your treasure is now complete." The chief looked at the river and realized what had happened. He had been so greedy that he had given away all his wealth. All the villagers had gathered around the river, and there was so much gold that they couldn't carry it all. The chief wanted to cry, but no tears came out. He had never realized how important sharing and kindness were until it was too late. The wise man walked up to the chief and said, "You have given away all your gold, but you still have something valuable left, and that is your people's love and respect. If you had shared your wealth with them, maybe they would have brought you more treasures than you could ever imagine. But now they have to leave you and your greed behind." And with that, the wise man turned and walked away, leaving the greedy chief all alone in his big, empty house. From that day on, the villagers never forgot the greedy chief. They told stories about him, and each story had a moral that taught people the importance of generosity and kindness.